Hey baby, what's good? This is Rel. Welcome to the back of the classroom. If you made it this far in the podcast game, thank you for following me. Thank you for being a supporter. Now go ahead and hit the like button, show more love and support, and get your attendance taken. And let's get right to it. Today we talking about Law 15 of the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene, and this chapter is called "Crush Your Enemy Totally." Now, from what I get from this has all types of military concepts, and it makes sense. Even if you watched, what was it, Lion King? If you remember Lion King, when Scar went to kill Mufasa, he went after Simba too. There's this thing about making sure that you kill off the lineage so that they don't come back, because when you do something to someone, there's this fear of retaliation, which is real. So I guess that gives you an air of caution as far as when you get into it with people. You have to know when you make enemies, a lot of times these people won't be persuaded to be your friends later. They're your enemies. They don't like you. They don't want no parts of what it is you do, and they prey on your downfall. So, that being said, if you're going to finish off your enemies, you have to finish them off totally. Like, this chapter goes into great details about it. They even speak about some biblical stories, like Moses, when the Red Sea came down, when Moses' people passed and all of the soldiers were killed. Like, that's an example of it, right? No one was left alive. There was no mercy. It was straight, everyone's got to go. Everyone's got to go. So, how do you modernize that concept? When you take over a business, or when new management comes in, the first thing you realize is they get rid of the old administration. All the old people, they get rid of them. Why? You're part of the old system of things. If you're if what you were doing was so important or good, y'all would have succeeded. You didn't succeed. So everybody gets wiped off the board. The only people allowed are my people. When you're playing a game and you're boxing, you don't want a tie. You don't want a close call. You want to dominate and win and totally overwhelm your opposition to make sure they know they lost. There's no, oh, I want, like, you got beat bad. Like, what you want to rematch for? So you get beat bad again? Like, you don't want those problems. Now, of course, some people got these egos, but then again, that's the same reason why you want to just get rid of your enemies in opposition. Look how many times a boxer would destroy somebody and they want a rematch. Outside of the payday, you want to be punished again, but there was some level of mercy. When you watch Mike Tyson fight, he was crushing him, and he made sure in the first, what was it, 3 rounds? But if he had you in the first round, it was a wrap for you. You ain't coming back talking about how some people left the ring like they wasn't playing, like they did not want any smoke. They thought they can go in there and handle it. They never felt the punching power behind Iron Mike, and then they felt it. Knees got weak. Something in their gut said, you're not gonna make it. So just having that mindset, watch these military war movies and situations where things happen and some troops were allowed to escape. Some of them totally mentally screwed up. Oh, I can't believe we lost, and they never want to come back. All right, cool. But then you got those some people who are so proud and they don't feel crushed. That energy inside of them makes them feel like I want revenge. I can't let this happen like that. Them the ones that come back and create all types of problems and troubles, and that's the reason why when people get into situations, it's got to be an end all be all. There can't be a, you can't give mercy, because then when people start wanting to retaliate and come back, it's worse than what it originally was. The situation spirals out of control and it becomes something even more than what it was. So in order to stop those things, there is this eliminate your opposition totally. Crush them. Only one side can win totally. And have ultimate victory, you must be ruthless. Right? And that's how it says it in the book. So if you really think about it, if you're trying to win, if you're trying to do something, you can't be merciful. If you're running a race, you don't stop to give the other person water. Your objective is to win the race. That's your goal. That's what you have to do. Now, once you won, you won. You got it. Now, if you want to go back and, hey, come on, guys, be a little motivational, that's cool. Sort of, kind of. Because remember, your goal is to win, and you got to relax, warm up, and get ready for the next race. You mess around and help somebody while they're losing, and then you get hurt in the process. You did something you didn't train to do. You was trained to run. You wasn't trained to you didn't train to aid someone in running, which then you hurt yourself, and now you're out the game. Why? Because you did something you weren't trained for. Right? Another point they make in the book is those who want to achieve things should show no mercy. You have a goal. There's something you are aspiring to do. Don't lose focus. Keep your eyes on the prize. Stay on point. A lot of people are distracted. A lot of people are paying attention to all these different things, and they're not focused. They talk a lot about how this generation now we're being distracted by all these different things, and we're not paying attention to what's important. But no one ever really told you what was important, or no one ever saying what you should focus on, or people are saying be aware. Okay, I know this is happening. What am I supposed to do with it? There's no answers. So that's when you gotta start doing your own research. Because more times than not, a lot of people don't have the answers because they come from a situation where they was given bad information. So that means you're always going to run into a brick wall. It's a dead end. Every route they've ever shown you was a dead end. I heard an analogy, and forgive me for going off topic, but a lion knows how to hunt his prey. A lion knows he's at the top of the food chain, so when he's hungry, he hunts for his prey, he eats, he's good. A lion could share with his prey how to get away because he knows what he's capable of, what he can do, what his next move is. He can outline all of that for his prey. But once he does that, he knows that prey will no longer be something he can eat. He taught it how to evade him and live a long, happy life without him eating him. And then the problem with that is he told one, that one will tell plenty more. And then the word spreads out, and now that lion goes hungry. And the rich doesn't get rich off of the rich. The rich get rich off of the poor. So a lot of misinformation we have is based on the fact that the rich have to get rich off of us. There is no way the rich are sitting there going, hey, let's exchange ideas and let's make money off each other. They need us to become successful. So if we take our knowledge, let's have conversations, let's talk, let's understand what we don't understand. By having these conversations, see how many different answers we get off of one situation. And we all can't be right, but we all can't be wrong either. And then we got to look into it and look at the examples that everybody else sees. I was told growing up, oh, don't do business with family, right? And then you look and you realize these rich tycoons are hiring their kids, and they have their family and their trust taken care of, and their money is circulating in their family. So which is it? Don't do business with family, or let the money stay in the family and watch it circulate? You watch the Kardashians, right? That's one family doing something amongst themselves. I thought we weren't supposed to do business with family. How does that work? Unless we've been bamboozled to believe something that wasn't true so we can stay apart. But if we can stick together and we can help each other, promote each other, who says what one person do couldn't be as powerful as a big corporation? We can do that for one another because there's enough of us to do it. There's more poor people than rich people, right? The top 15% of rich people they take the money from us to be rich. They don't take the money from each other because then they wouldn't be rich. They get it from us. So we can put our own people in power and have our money rotate amongst each other. And if we don't no longer give them our money, we're eliminating our enemy. We're starving them of our resources that prohibits them from being in power. We're giving it to somebody else. So if you can have no mercy, right? And that's what we're doing. We're gonna not have mercy. So we're not gonna support a certain company, and we're gonna give our funds to a different company to get the resources and materials and everything that they need so they can be successful and get what we want from them. So we're like, look, you make silk shirts, you make these pants, and you have these nice designs. We want you to be the next up and coming clothing line. So we need you to do better. And we're going to hold you to a certain level of expectation. And we're going to stay on your neck about it because we need you to be better. And we're going to keep giving you our money so you can keep giving us what we need so we can give you the product so you can do the things you need to do. And we're going to look to you. And we start doing that to our own people and we put them in position. We can make it. Right? So if we have an issue with a system, we can starve the system of our funds, of our resources. And that's not, have no mercy. We're not going to, they're going to beg and plead and, but we've been there. No mercy. Nope, we're not doing it, right? Only one side can win totally. If we all decided to switch it up, no mercy. We got to stay a united front. If there are more of us than there are rich people or of anything, how is it that we're losing? It's because we're not together. It could be just one person. Okay, that one person could do things for themselves and so on and so forth, but they have to position themselves to speak to people and get them to understand what it is. Same thing with these podcasts. Listen, if my video is 30 minutes, there aren't 30 minutes in a day where all you can do is listen to my podcast. No, I'll promote somebody else's because they got good information, right? You go to high school, there was more than one teacher. You might have a favorite subject, but you still went to every class. You still learned something from every class, right? Some of the main building blocks, not to go too far away from this, but just to understand, you got to learn to read. You have to understand math. And then there's science. In order to understand science, you have to be able to read and know math because you got to do calculations. You have to learn to read and you have to understand numbers and math in order to understand everything that you do. And without those three subjects, nothing you do in life is ever going to make sense. Because when you learn to read, you understand words. You understand words, you can understand people because people communicate. Verbal and nonverbal skills. But verbally helps you understand the nonverbal skills, especially when you watch people over the course of time. Takes a little bit longer, but verbal cues help you learn faster. But that's the reading and writing and understanding things. Math, numbers, understanding how to count, hold things accountable. See how that works? And then science is the putting things together in formulas. So if you can cook, that's a form of science. If you play any type of sports, you are doing something that most people won't tell you you're doing. You could throw a football, that's trajectory. Most people have to align the sight, a missile, and how to get it from here to there. You're doing that with a football. You can do that on a whim when you're playing basketball. You can do that with your foot when you're playing soccer or football, depending on where you're at in the world. So you do more than you realize. No one's telling you you're doing that. That's why the quarterback is quote unquote so important, because his trajectory and understanding where people are at and get that ball in the air, knowing the speed, telemetry, and the curvature of how he throws the football and the strength he got to get it to where he got to get it, that's a skill. And that's you and your body mechanics versus you using a tool or instrument as far as engineering, but you still need to understand math, science, geometry, which also requires you to understand how to read and numbers. So if we're going to deal with an enemy and we have to remove him, we have to understand the power that we have. And that's the point I was trying to make just now. Understand the power you have. Understand what you can do. And then bring people around you who are at the same time as knowledgeable and those who want to learn. Because the more people you can get on board, the greater your numbers become. The greater your numbers become, the more influential you can get the next generation. and the next generation. And now what we're doing is breaking the generational curse of misinformation, and we're giving everybody the information they need so we're no longer distracted. So now that when you're trying to defeat an enemy and you want to achieve something, oh no, we're not falling for the misdirection, and we're not going to not pay attention. We're going to stay on task. We're going to pay attention when we have to. We're going to execute things without mercy. We're going to make sure the winner is undeniable, and we're going to make sure that we're staying on task. Allow your enemies no options. Your options is your attention. Your options are your resources. Your options are the ability to persuade you to do something in their favor. You don't have to if you don't want to. You don't have to listen to this podcast. But if you find what I'm saying informative, share it. Talk about it. Make it a conversation. Read this book and understand how these laws, the impact it can have on your day-to-day life, and how it can also influence how you do things at work, at school, how you choose to learn, what books you choose to read, what TV shows you choose to watch. At the end of the day, the information you absorb would become the way you choose to conduct yourself. It's all information. So take the good information, get rid of the bad information. Focus on the thing that's going to better you, improve you, and find out what's most important to you and most valuable to you, and cultivate that, and then share that with the people around you. And then you'll see how much of a difference in the quality of life you have and how it improves. If you made it this far on the podcast, I thank you. I appreciate you. This is one of those laws I really do wish more people would take the time to read and understand it, because it's powerful. I thank you. I love you. And I'll talk to you later. Peace.